Hey guys, here we are with Marcos
Day 2.
and Luis. We're heading up to the takeoff. Marcos is checking the trail, make sure we're finding a trail up to the launch. Yesterday we managed to fly from Jujuy into Salta, which is perfect because there's a launching area here, so we don't have to be bushwhacking up to the tops of some peaks. Today we have well, one thing on our side, which is a trail, but the one thing that's not on our side is the weather, because it's absolutely overcast. It's already 11 a.m. and there's no activity to be seen yet. Hopefully it'd be nice to take one of those up to the mountain. Anyway, I'll keep you guys updated. All right, we are almost at the top, maybe 75% of the mountain so far. Conditions are starting to improve, but it's still really gray out there, very stormy, and we do have some base wind, but not much thermal activity. Conditions are starting to burn. They're starting to burn off. Clouds are burning off. So hopefully by the time we get to the top, get our gear ready. There's some thermals in front of the takeoff, and we can start scratching our way south. We're on the launch. Conditions, not so good yet. Windy on takeoff. We're about to launch. We're guessing it's going to be a short flight. That's vertical takeoff. Whee-ah! Holy shit. I'm going up 6 meters a second, 7 meters a second. There's takeoff. Windy, guys. I'm going up 8 meters a second right off launch. Whee-ah! Okay, and when it's windy, it's when you gotta relax. To the valley. The flight plan is to leave the mountains because it's really nasty, as you saw right off launch. And if I find some lift out here in the flats, I'm gonna be flying over the flatlands, over landing areas. But if not, we're just gonna land and call it a day. We don't want to be flying in some nasty conditions on our second day, or on any day really. So we're gonna keep it safe. If there is weather out here, there's a thermal. So if I manage to climb nice and high here, the winds are about 30k up high, but blowing from the right direction. So maybe we can make some distance, but there's not a lot of sun and it's really windy. In that one turn, I just lost like 50 meters. So there's actually plenty of lift out here, but I'm parked. Ground speed, 1k, 2k. I'm parked. And the forecast is showing more wind the deeper you go. So I'm just gonna call it a day and land safe in town instead of going downwind into the windier area. So, you know, it's not always priority to make distance. The main priority here is for us to just have fun, keep flying south, and yeah, not get hurt. So gonna go land into one of these nice big fields. Still just parked here. Coming in for landing. lifty. Right off the ground here. That's the main landing in Salta. So we're gonna land in there. Believe it or not, in between all those poles is the main landing. Doing our downwind leg here. Coming in for the final. And your landing is right below when it's this windy. Well, it sure is nice to land that smooth when it's this windy. Marcos and his dad are flying. I'm not sure if they're gonna continue. They're probably gonna come and land because they're also parked up there. And the wind seems to be speeding up in this Venturi area here. So it is what it is.
We landed out. It's a little shady and windy. We needed to cross these little mountains, but with the wind with Siren, we didn't want to get too deep. And with the wind, as you can see, it's kind of hard to push and penetrate in the direction that we wanted to, but try again tomorrow, see where we end up.
Looking at the forecast for clouds, where we're in the center of this low pressure system. You can see it's not looking too good, so trying to make a plan, see if we stick around or we drive away from it and continue. So, they sell oxygen by the kilo here. Interesting. We're probably just getting like a few grams. That's the one we need to refill, bro.
Yeah.
That's why it's so cheap.
We're hopefully getting the stuff that lets us get really high.
Some of that O2.
So we just had my little adapter break for my O2, and the guy's like, yo, do you guys have time? And he's just building me a whole new setup to be able to open the tank while flying. So thank you for good people on this planet.
I'm covering this because we're not allowed to film in here.
That's badass.
Okay, si acaso. Dale. Ah, bueno, no, porque estamos con el mismo remisero.
Ahí está, yo después le puedo ir mejorando mientras que se quede ahí, si me lo empujas ahí bien para adentro.
Bueno.
Ahí ya, con eso.
Sí.
Abre y cierra, que es lo importante.
Ya con eso estoy. Un genio. ¿Cómo es tu nombre?
Adrián.
Gracias, Adrián. ¿Cuánto les debo?
Volante, decirle a los chicos que cobran.
We got our tanks.
Da la puerta.
¿Listo? ¿Estamos?
Listo, pa.
Gracias.
Suerte, nos vemos.
Adrián, muchas gracias. ¿Me salvaste? Gracias por el coso. Chao.
Chao, nos vemos, chicos.
Noche por Adriana.
A man and his Fernet. No flying,
No crying.
but we're still having fun.
Huh?
We got a month to go.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get too excited.
Soy argentino, me sobran los huevos.
south and found a little hill. We got that system behind us. We're right at the edge of the system and it's sunny to the south of us. It was showing like 4 days of rain, so we can't wait 4 days. We're gonna try to soar up this and start flying. So let's see if it's possible, and if not, we're just gonna land right next to the road.
So I'm not sure what's happening now. Zion went up the mountain and now it looks like he's coming back down. He's getting the glider out. I guess he's using the wind shadow there from that little rock set up. And then he'll walk across and take off.
Doing my upside down checks here, just in case. Now I gotta get the wing above me. Sounds a lot easier than it is. Now that is what I call a pain in the nuts. Wing just flips over. Not so easy to get up there. Oh yes. We're gonna wait for the next cycle, check our lines, and then go. Qué cagada no tener speed bar. Unfortunately, my mistake, I didn't check my glider. I had 2 wings, I didn't check this one before I flew it today, and it doesn't have a speed bar.
I think Zion, his first takeoff was great. He got super high, but there wasn't a speed bar system on the Bonanza. He was like, okay, switch out the speed bars. So we switched it out. And then in the meantime, Marcos took off from where Zion originally took off. He got up. He climbed out of this tiny little bowl. and he's just going up again. Hopefully he takes off and can join Marcos. Marcos is pretty high now. So let's see, it's testing for sure this place. I think they knew it would be hard, but I don't know if they knew it would be like this hard. Just like the terrain, like finding a takeoff that you can hike to that doesn't have cactuses in this area, that's a challenge. And then you have to take off, and it's freaking hot. The sunlight stings, it burns so much. Anyway, hopefully Zan does it this time, then go fly. I think Cafachate is like pretty close to here, so if they do have a good flight, they'll definitely fly past there, and if not, that's I guess where we'll pick them up.
Ahí está, bueno, Luis.
¿Suelto?
Sí. Voy a esperar que... Estoy justo al límite acá. Ahí vas a ver. Está bueno. Espero. ¿No estás enganchado? Ok. Ok, voy. Gracias, Luis. Gracias. Ya estoy volando, Marcos.
We landed safely, landed backwards safely. And Simon's over here. We took off from this tiny little hill, but Venturi's over here, so we decided to land here before it really compresses there. And see if I can see Sion and get a little film. He should be coming over here. This in the flats would be fun, but in the mountains, not so fun. So we'll try again, and I think here's the team coming.
Alright, so I'm walking out of here. I just flew from this little hill and we're trying to make some distance. Finally we arrived to some sun, so driving away from the system. But like 10k into it, we started flying backwards 20 kilometers an hour. Got really windy and yeah, not so fun, but we're on the ground safe. And now I gotta cross this river. Across this river, the retrieve van is right there. You can see we got lots of wind kicking in here. It's blowing about 60, 70. So yeah, landed in this river valley here. Just crossing this area, the river is. Lucky it's not overflowing right now. Nice and small. So yeah. Anyway, it was a nice flight. Really beautiful canyon and rocks and stuff. There's a lot of like tour buses in this canyon. So it was nice, but it was, as you can see, the bushes really windy. 70k I'm blowing 30, 40 on the ground. Of course, it doesn't feel it when you're walking right on the ground because of all the bushes holding the wind back. And I'm just gonna hike up that hill. Put my shoes back on after the crossing. Look at this house made out of rocks and clay. Amazing. Backwards, like, well, at one point I was going back like 25 on full speed. No joke. On my GPS, minus 25 it said.
Yeah.
And then as I got lower, it was less.
Yeah.
And then it was like I was going backwards like 15 at one point, like really close to the ground. And then as I felt like this little kind of like gap.
Yeah.
And I got below it, and like right next to the ground,
Nice.
I got like, yeah, well, I didn't really need a flare, but it landed alright behind the bush.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't want to keep going because I was scared of this canyon, getting stuck low underneath this canyon, and then really being caught.
I was scared of when these two wings meet, man, over there. See how it's blue?
Yeah.
I don't like the blue.
You like the blue?
If it's not windy when there's clouds, how windy is it going to be when it's blue? It's at least, you know, that's what came through my head. That's why I stopped. I was going up, man, like crazy when I decided to land. Like 3-4 meters.
Yeah.
But it was at the end of the cloud street. And I was like, if Marco said he landed backwards, it's probably way windier where it's blue.
Yeah.
So then just, you know, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna land. It was nice though. Some cool. You got above the ridge? Like you were using the ridge?
Yeah, I was using the ridge.
I was in the flatland.
Oh, you never got above the ridge?
I did.
Okay.
But in the flats. Like over the river, I was boosting.
Really?
Because the wind switched.
Huh.
It was going that way when I landed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was using the back side of the ridge.
But you got to that side.
Yeah.
I never did that.
What a crazy day. Alright, let's get some sleep now. I'm fucking exhausted, dude. I need to sleep good. I need to sleep. Fucking Zion's heat's like keeping me up all night. It's like I'm on the top of the roof, you know?
Where are we going?
It's called the Devil's Throat. Imagine that as a Venturi.
Nice. Well, not nice.